Hey guys, what's up? My name is nixxiom here with Dumb, and we are in 1,000 Needles.
No, I'm with Dumb.
No, you're the dumb.
No, I'm with Dumb.
Anyway, we're here in 1,000 Needles.
There's a lot of needles in this place. You gotta watch out.
There is. The Great Walk Challenge continues.
Yeah, we gotta take the elevator.
Yeah, you first.
All right.
All right, because there's kind of like a brave moon horn right there.
Yeah.
Oh! Don't worry. I know what to do. I'll just I actually survived.
Oh yeah.
How did I
I don't know. How did you survive?
I just like fell on like this little tiny outcropping of rock that's here. Okay, maybe if I'm just very careful and tactical, I can. I survived. Wow, dude, who needs the lift, man? My nimble night elf legs can carry me to victory.
I'm floating back to my body.
Oh!
Well,
I got killed by a cat.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you
Anyway.
spawned at the graveyard right there, but I had to spawn all the way back at the shit town, USA.
Well, that's because I jumped into the zone. I didn't let myself die in the barrens like a complete dillweed. I see you. All right, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run into the lift.
All right.
Hold on.
Just make sure you walk. Don't cheat.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
I'm
I
doing
see
it.
you.
All right, he's chasing.
Don't worry. You're fine. You're fine. Just. How did you die off of that little tiny fall? I didn't die.
He also hit me as I was falling.
That's all right.
I had like blood splattering out of me.
That's okay. Oh,
Alright,
wait.
I'm back.
Dude, Longbrow's Journal or Lonebrow's Journal. I wonder if I could actually get that quest at level 2.
Yeah, you probably could.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
While I grab this, or we grab this, dude, Diablo 4 came out today.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yes. And I'm sure that everybody is curious. I got it.
Nice.
Oh, it requires level 23. Never mind.
Well,
I'm sure everybody's curious as to our thoughts on Diablo 4. But before we talk about Diablo 4, have to say real fast, big shout out to the channel members getting to watch this little podcasty walk video early. Please become a channel member here on nixxiom. It goes a long way towards supporting the channel, helping pay like the editors and the people that help me write and the people that help me like upload the videos and stuff. It goes a long way, guys. Please consider becoming a member. It really helps. But big shout out to those guys.
yeah. Also,
Yes.
if you're a channel member here, go be a channel member at Kalimdor. I do a monthly
right.
Q&A. That's really
He
all there
does.
is. You got a monthly Q&A, but that's still better than nothing.
Dude, why have I never done that?
I don't know.
That's
Why
such a
haven't you
simple
done that?
idea. I don't know. It's like I'm always like, oh, I got to make more behind the scenes videos for nixxiom, more like, whatever. But I've kind of made them already.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's how I make a machinima. Here's how I do this. Like, what else is there to show, right? Like, oh, here I am sitting in my underwear editing a video. This is what it is.
Yeah.
But a monthly Q&A, that's a pretty good idea. Like just like a private upload for members only every month. That's a good idea. I'm gonna steal that.
All right. I've done that like 4 months now, 3-4 months, and yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, and then you can just answer the questions right in the comments section,
Yeah,
like submitted
pretty
by
much.
like the join people or the members.
Yeah, that's all I do. It's just me in front of a shitty green screen being like, here's your answer. Here's your answer. Here's your
Nice.
answer.
That's a really good idea. Cool.
Yeah.
This is why I
hey,
talk to you.
Yeah, this is why somebody listens.
Yes.
I was
D4.
gonna say, also, wait, yep. Also, you
okay.
should check out Pointless Top 10. That's my, we did Pointless Top 10 Forges.
You're only allowed to shill for one thing per episode. You've already shilled for your membership.
All right.
You know, you're not allowed to talk about the top 10 videos or krensloth.com where you can get like awesome like Krendor themed merchandise. You can't talk about that stuff or your Patreon page or your Twitch channel. Ridiculous.
All right, yeah, I won't mention any of those then, or youtube.com/Warhammer Krendor either.
Yeah, you shouldn't mention that. Don't mention that. You greedy, selfish Neanderthal.
Anyway, Diablo 4.
Diablo 4 is out as of today. I'm assuming you've been playing the early access.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm assuming you're playing the Druid.
No.
I'm assuming you're an idiot.
I'm dumb.
Oh yeah, okay. I am playing the Druid. I'm suffering for the sake of us all.
To be fair, I was gonna play Druid, and then 3 of my friends that are streamers all were playing Druids, and I was like, I don't want to play Druid then if everyone else is playing Druid, so I went Rogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did they play Druid? It's the bad class.
Yeah, apparently it's bad early on. It gets really good late game, so they're like, just go late game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like, see, like I like when I played the beta, I played the Druid. Like I tried it out, and it was terrible. Like just I played it very briefly, but it was terrible. And even when I'm streaming my entire playthrough of D4 on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The streams have gone fantastic. Like I just wrapped up one stream not like 1 hour ago, and it was great. I loved it. And like the first stream that I did, like the sheer amount of times that I died as a Druid, it was ridiculous. But I feel like today, like again, like today, D4 just came out, guys. Like this afternoon it launched. I feel like maybe they buffed the Druid or something, because I felt way more powerful playing the Druid today. And I know that I downloaded an update before I launched the game.
Yeah, they have made some. I don't know. They have done some buffs and stuff. There's been like 2 patches, I think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I felt, dude. I'm gonna geek out for 1 second.
All
right. I geeked out about this on stream earlier, but I'm about to geek out again. Okay, back in the day. Okay, so no. Let me begin with this premise. I played the Druid on D4 because when I played Diablo 3, right? The Necromancer did not launch with Diablo 3. So I was very disappointed. And I was like, well, what should I play? And I decided to play the Witch Doctor. And I specifically chose the Witch Doctor because I knew that I was going to hate that class. I was going to despise it. And I played it and I loved it. I was like, dude, this is so much fun playing the Witch Doctor. All the frogs and the bouncing flame balls. Like, it was great. And so when D4 was coming out, I was like, okay, what is the one class that I don't want to play? And it was Druid and Rogue. Didn't want to play those two. Definitely not. Yeah. And I was like, well, this is what I got to do. I want to play one of these classes again, or play one of these classes I don't want to play again, so I can be genuinely surprised. So I've been playing the Druid, and now I move on to my rant that I did earlier on stream today. Back in the day, in World of Warcraft, maybe you know this or the viewers know this, I don't know, but I used to be a big role player. And I used to role play as a Druid who was Nixxiom's son in character. And his name was Ashvin. And I role played a very specific kind of Druid, which I referred to him as a Storm Druid, where, like, you know, he this is like back in Cataclysm and stuff. You know, like a lot of his ideas and his philosophies about nature and whatnot all revolved around like the weather and the changing seasons and so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, the character's magic that I did in roleplay was that this guy can conjure tornadoes and storms and whatnot. So he's very, very powerful, but he takes a long time to charge up any sort of ability or power, right?
Right.
But this was my character. And, you know, in character, my lady friend at the time, she was also a role player, and she played as a huntress, and she had these 2 wolf companions. Right. And sometimes in role play, she would give me her 2 wolf companions. We run around, blah, blah, blah. All right. So what am I getting at here? I'm playing the Druid on Diablo 4, and I'm running around, beating people and shooting electricity at people, summoning tornadoes. You can have 2 wolf companions that follow you around and fight with you. And I'm sitting here like, dude, I'm like playing Ashvin, like from back in the day when I was a full-time role player. This is amazing. I've been having so much fun. That's my story.
Damn, that's a cool story.
Damn. Yeah. So I've been geeking out. Like, I'm like, wow, this is it. I'm like living the dream, man. I'm like, it's been fun.
Yeah. Honestly, I've really enjoyed Diablo 4. Like, it's the aesthetic of it, the gameplay, like everything about it. I've really enjoyed.
Yeah. I'm. How far into it are you?
I literally beat the campaign today.
Oh, you're pretty.
Yeah.
You're way farther than me.
Yeah.
I just got to the first stronghold.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're way farther than me.
Yeah. So I wanted to beat the campaign before I made any alts. So I'm probably gonna make an alt now. So I'm probably gonna make either a sorcerer or a druid as my alt. Or both.
Sorcerer would be interesting. I'm curious to see what the spells look like.
Yeah, I played sorcerer in the beta and it was really fun. So
Was it?
Yeah, so I kind of want to play it again. But I also want to play druid, so I'm kind of like, yeah. But we'll see. You know, I'll probably make both, to be honest.
I heard they nerfed the ever-living piss out of the necromancer.
I believe they did, but I think it's still good. Whoa.
But what are you doing? Keep walking.
All right.
Yeah. What are you doing? Don't get scared. I was just walking. I was just walking behind you for tactical senses.
I see. It makes sense.
Oh, dude, watch out! Careful! What are you doing? Stop aggroing everything. What? Oh! You can't do that. That's cheating.
Oh,
Shadow meld, quick!
I already used it. Wait.
Oh no! For stealth detection.
Checkmate, atheist.
Checkmate, atheist. There's no such thing as ghosts. What? Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna spawn over here, and maybe this lady won't kill me.
Yeah, that'd be good.
There we go. Dude, speaking of atheists, I watched the movie Nefarious last night.
I don't know what that is.
Nefarious is this movie. It just came out in theaters, and it came out, and it's like a demonic possession movie, and the critics hated it. They despised it, so you know the movie must be good if the critics hate it. So I watched that movie last night. I just watched it on YouTube. And because like the critics hated it, but the audience loved it. I think like the audience like score for it like it's like, oh, this is a 9 out of 10 movie, 98% out of 100. Like, so I watched it and I was like, wow, I have not watched a movie that good in so long. It blew my mind. It is genuinely the best demon possession film ever made, maybe next to The Exorcist.
Oh wow.
Yes. So
that's some high praise.
It's not like your typical like possession film though, where like people crawling on walls and stuff and heads turning around. It's more like intellectual. Like the whole movie is just a conversation between two characters, and like that's it.
I see.
It's like a therapist or a psychiatrist and the dude who's possessed, and that's it. Huh. So it's very tense. So I highly recommend watching it at some point.
All right.
Yes,
yeah,
but
that sounds pretty cool.
Just because you said checkmate atheist, like I was like, oh yeah, I watched Nefarious last night. That was a really good movie. Anyway, yeah. So D4. Yeah. Speaking of demons, like
yeah. Speaking of demons,
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, it was honestly, I really like the Diablo 4 gameplay type stuff because have you played Path of Exile?
Yeah, I played it.
So like to me, Path of Exile is fun, but it's like you open that talent tree, everybody knows that thing's like a galaxy.
Oh, I love it. Oh, so good.
The thing is like they may as well have a button that just says import build from MOBA Fire, and you just click it, you just get your build.
Why would you do that?
Like, I'm just saying, that's what people would pretty much do.
Well, people are stupid.
Well, yeah, I hit the mic.
That's okay.
But what I like from Diablo is they kind of took that Path of Exile style and they've like simplified it. So
Yeah.
where you still get really impactful choices, but on a much smaller level. And I like it a lot.
Yeah, I did a like a first impressions video of the beta, and I remember I criticized the sort of lack of like skill choice and whatnot in D4 compared to Path of Exile. Since Path of Exile just has so much crap, like you're saying, I mean, it's like a galaxy. However, as I've played D4 more, because again, I was just playing the beta. It's not like I got far or anything. It's not like I like leveled to level 40 or anything. I just leveled to like maybe level 10 at most. It was like, okay, I'm done. Anyway, the point is don't get killed by that cat. The point is now that I'm like level 20 and I've had the opportunity to like, put these like skills in, it's like most of Path of Exile's abilities that you can like spec into and put points in are just like, like increases crit chance by 5%.
Yeah.
Or like, it's just like little minor attribute increases.
Yeah.
But like in D4, every single ability actually like changes your abilities.
Yeah.
Like, now you have a 20% chance that when you use tornado, you're going to spawn 2 tornadoes. Something like that. It actually has a big, change. And so as I've played with these trees more, I've actually found them to be extremely enjoyable. And I'm very curious, like what happens once you hit max level and you enter into like the Paragon system. Because find out.
Yeah. No, it'll be cool to find out because I think that's what it is. There's less choice, but every choice feels more impactful.
Exactly. Every choice actually like really matters and changes the game.
Yeah.
Weep. Nice. Dude, we're like almost there, man.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. We went from all the way up there all the way down to here. And we're almost to the Shimmering Flats, one of my favorite areas.
Yeah. I think we talked about it in one video that you really like Shimmering Flats.
Yeah.
And it's a great grind spot.
It's a great grind spot, but I just love the aesthetic of being out in the open nothingness.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've just always really liked it.
I think I'm gonna speaking of Shimmering Flats and grinding and stuff, behind the scenes here at nixxiom HQ, I've been kind of pondering on some new like video content to create. And hyena. And one of the things that I've been talking like with my friends about, like the people that kind of help me with nixxiom, is it's like, like right now, a lot of the content that I create on nixxiom is very kind of, I call it discussion-based content.
Right.
So like it's, this is me sharing my thoughts on subject, whatever that is. Or, occasionally get like the fun videos, like, like what your WoW race says about you, something like that. And I was saying that like right now there really isn't too much going on like news-wise in gaming. Except, nexxiom just came out today as well. ESO nexxiom. Really bad timing for them to release their expansion the same day D4 comes out, but oh well. But, oh man, there's like a hyena and a cat here. Okay, whatever. I'm going to die either way.
Yep.
Hold on a second. So, run! So there really hasn't been much to like talk about too much lately. Like there's been like a little bit of a dry spot. And so I want to do a gameplay series on the channel. And we kind of have the, the hardcore podcast thing that we do with like the tutorin. But I actually would like to genuinely create like a hardcore leveling series. I think that'd be fun. And I was also thinking of possibly creating a video series of going through nexxiom as the new class, the Arcanist. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Just to play a brand new character, level them up. It'd be fun. Oh my goodness, there's another hyena.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, so I want to bring more gameplay onto the channel. So that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Are you? I know you wanted to expand into more MMOs as well.
Yeah, past few videos that I've put out on the channel have been on ESO, and even today we had a video come out about Star Wars: The Old Republic, explaining like what happens or what can you do at Endgame in SWTOR. And these videos, like I was talking about it on stream. I mean, like I'm primarily known as a WoW content creator, right?
Yeah.
So like WoW is the bread and butter. So like if you create ESO content or like Final Fantasy content or, you know, just whatever, any other MMO, SWTOR,
Yeah.
these videos obviously are not going to do as good as like WoW content does. But I've been genuinely surprised because sometimes like we'll put out a video about like another MMO and it does incredible. Case in point, just put out a video called like, is Lord of the Rings Online in 2023 worth trying or playing or something? And that video did insanely well. It's got like 65,000 views.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for Lord of the Rings Online.
Yeah.
And speaking of Lord of the Rings Online, I have a video coming out here very soon. And it's about the new Amazon Lord of the Rings MMO that's being developed. And I get a little heated in that video because yeah, like I really tear into Rings of Power, especially. Not with anything like I tear into Rings of Power. I tear a little bit into New World a bit. It definitely is going to be the most heated video that I've released on nixxiom in a while. So
Interesting. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. So I watched a couple episodes because I got Twitch bounties to watch them.
Hell, wait, so you watched them live?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but I always got paid for it. So
No, okay, you got paid for it. You made your like $30 to watch.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I after watching them, I was like, the show isn't bad, but it's just not good. You know, like it's just there's like I think because there's so much production quality put into it and everything. You're like, it's not bad, like the music and like the like I don't know everything, but like it just has no soul to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't want to make this whole thing about Rings of Power unless you
Right.
want to, but yeah, the thing with Rings of Power is like visually it looks very good as a show. Yeah. Except for some things like the Numenorian armor T-shirts that people wear. You'll see that later on if you haven't already. Like the music is good, like the quality is good, like the CGI is good. Like no one disputes that, but it's like you said, the show just has no soul to it. And the show is also just objectively not Tolkien or Lord of the Rings. Like in its essence of what it is. And this is what I go into in the video itself, where I kind of I bring up one example when I talk about the Lord of the Rings TV show, where I talk about how Galadriel in the show is the very evil that she is trying to defeat the entire season. And I don't know if this was intentional, that like Galadriel is evil, like objectively acting like an evil character the entire time. But if it was not intentional, like I and if it was intentional, it's like, why Galadriel? Like the biggest issue was, I mean, you got to see the first 3 episodes, you said, right?
Yeah.
Like you have a person like Tolkien. This is what I talk about, but I elaborate more in the video. You have a person like Tolkien, and the Lord of the Rings, in Tolkien's own words, is a book series that is very much Catholic in its origin and in its themes and everything. It's like a Catholic themed story set in like a European pagan world. That's what it is, right? And so if you want to understand the Lord of the Rings better and like its themes and, you know, the soul of it, if you would, you need to kind of understand Tolkien and how he's inserting a lot of like Catholic themes and philosophy and so on all throughout the Lord of the Rings. And one of the things that Tolkien repeatedly puts into the Lord of the Rings, like the 3 books, is how you confront evil and how you deal with evil. Specifically, what is the great weapon that can be used against evil that allows you to resist evil? And, you know, I'm not quizzing you or anything, but evil, like the great anti-evil, the great counter to it, the thing that makes it so that evil cannot find a foothold in a person's heart or anything, is simply humility. Like, humility is just the antidote to evil. And Tolkien shows this over and over and over and over with the characters in the Lord of the Rings. Even like the hobbits, why can the ring not affect them? Like it can affect elves and men and dwarves and stuff, because the hobbits don't give a shit about anything. They don't want power. They don't want wealth. They don't want nothing. They just want to sit and they want to smoke their pipe tobacco. That's it.
And they want to drink their brews and
sing their songs.
Food and sing.
Exactly. They have a very humble lifestyle. They're not trying to create great kingdoms, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're not a very like central, like, you know, eye-focused like type of people, whereas everybody else is in one way or another. But again, that's a whole like discussion, like, oh, how does the ring influence elves and blah, blah, blah. You know, and so this is a theme that just continuously just pops up all throughout Lord of the Rings. And then we have Rings of Power, where we have evil. Like, Tolkien has clearly established what evil is throughout the Lord of the Rings. And then we have our protagonist, who is supposed to be it's Galadriel. And she's supposed to be this one fighting against evil. She's supposed to be the one that is supposed to be like a beacon of hope, of virtue, of whatever, like against these dark forces in the world. And throughout the entire series, she's just this insufferable, prideful, selfish, self-centered individual the entire time. She doesn't, like, even in the first episode, she's willing to sacrifice all the people that are following her for the sake of what she feels is the most important thing. Like, oh, we got to go get Sauron. You know, who cares if I lose like all the people that are following me? Who cares if they all die in the snow? We got to go get Sauron. No, that's not how it works. You know, you're just putting your goals and what you think is most important, your will, above other people. And it's like, no, it's like, oh, my goodness. So I remember watching the first episode and that really stood out to me. I'm like, oh, like Galadriel. OK. So anyway, that's a very small rant, but I'm actually I go on that rant and I elaborate a bit more on it in that Lord of the Rings video. And then I I'm actually planning on making some content on nixxiom IRL where I actually really want to talk about the Lord of the Rings and some of the themes of it that some people might have missed. And my first video that I want to make, and I've wanted to make it for years, actually, fun fact, but I want to talk about Gollum and why Gollum is such a fascinating character to me in regards to evil and how it affects him.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool, hearing you break down all the different characters or things you observe in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, be fun. There's a lot of Thomism in Lord of the Rings, and that's very fascinating to me, like seeing the Thomistic philosophy popping up here and there. And so I'd like to talk a little bit about that. For those that know what that is, but I'll explain what that is for like the people that don't know if I make a video talking about it.
Personally, I feel like I'm a Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah. You're a simple guy.
I'm a simple guy. I like having my food. I like, you know, having my brews, my wine, and then my cat. And then just, you know, I don't like adventure, but when I've gone on adventures, like when I've gone to conventions or gone out, and I've always been like, that's pretty fun. But I still just love going home and being like, nice, I'm home.
You know? Scorpion. Oh, I understand.
Yeah. So I always related to Bilbo Baggins on everybody. And I feel like if I got the ring, I would probably be like him, where I would just hold it and be like, yeah, I got the ring, and I'd be like, yeah,
Maybe. Maybe.
yeah, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think I'm more of a. I really like. My favorite character in Lord of the Rings is Boromir. I don't know if he's necessarily the character I relate the most to, kind of like what you're talking about. But maybe. I mean, I don't know. I really like Boromir. I like Aragorn. But I think, I don't know. I think everybody can relate in some way to every single character in Lord of the Rings. And I think that's what makes it so magical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everybody, like, you know, like, oh, everybody, like, loves the heroism of Aragorn, or Boromir, you know, falling prey to his concupiscence, and everyone's fallen prey to that at one point in their life multiple times. Or Frodo and, like, Sam, or Bilbo, the simple, peace-loving hobbits, and so on and so forth. So, I don't know. I don't know which one I relate to the most. Probably Treebeard.
Huh.
Probably Treebeard, yeah.
Huh.
I just leave me alone. I want to be out in the woods. I want to sing my songs and write my poems, and I want to look for the Entwives. That's it. Yeah. You like that?
We actually, speaking of The Hobbit, I love in Lord of the Rings the first one, where they have the big festival where Bilbo, like, you know, he's
birthday?
like, his birthday, because it always reminds me of like the Midsummer Fire Festival, or the summer solstice, I guess. And I just really enjoy that time of the year, because like it's warm. You got like everyone's outside, everyone's like partying, they're like woo, and then they're like having a good time. They got music, they're dancing. Like, I always love going to like Summerfest and stuff too, and just like walking around and like experiencing it. Like, I really enjoy that.
Yeah. I like the music that plays during that scene. It's called Flaming Red Hair.
Yeah, I love that music too.
Yeah.
Or it's like
that's right. Yep, Flaming Red Hair. I love it. It used to be on my gym playlist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd go to the gym and just like pump iron to that.
Me and Toaster Woman Haley wife were making Valentine's Day food the other year, and we were watching Lord of the Rings. We were making food to that song.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was just like a very happy, upbeat, vibrant type of song.
There's a scene in the first Lord of the Rings movie. It's a very short scene, but it's always been one of my favorites ever since I was a kid. Not for any like deep, you know, some deep philosophy like thing. Maybe a little bit, but there's a scene when Frodo and Sam and Gandalf are leaving the Shire, and it's when Gandalf is telling Frodo, you know, never put on the ring, and he's saying that, you know, the agents of the enemy like will be drawn to its power, and there's like this music that's playing in the background of that scene where it's like a children's choir, and they're like humming this very soft song that seems almost like there's a concealed danger all around them. And there's just something about that scene, like the color palette, the music, the warning, like this seemingly insignificant thing that you are carrying is this object of tremendous evil, and like beasts and men and dwarves and elves and all manner of creature, and like all manner of thing and all horror is going to try to take this from you potentially. And it was like the kind of like the first time you're kind of, well, maybe not the first time, but it's kind of like a very sobering scene. At least it was for me, where it's like, oh, like this is a very dangerous quest, I suppose.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite scenes, although it's so insignificant compared to everything else.
No, yeah.
But I love that scene. What about Two Towers?
I think Two Towers is probably my favorite Lord of the Rings
But what was your favorite scene?
What was my favorite scene? I'm a big Saruman fan.
Yeah.
I love Christopher Lee, who played Saruman in the movie. I just love the character Saruman, just the white wizard. Just, I don't know. He's just cool. Mm-hmm. And so I always love the scene where he gets stabbed because, he was always like, I know what it sounds like to be stabbed.
Oh, that's Return of the King. You're one movie ahead.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Oh, I guess it is. Well,
Two Towers is the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yeah, I think it's because there is the tower. I think that's where the trees are like destroying everything. Saruman, like all his surroundings and stuff. So yeah. In fact, I think Return of the King, isn't it like one of the first scenes is that happening?
Yep,
yeah, that's
one of the first. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know. I always like that. But I don't know. Yeah.
There's a we just recently, well, it was a few months ago, but oh wait, that's the auction house or the bank.
Yeah.
A few months ago, they actually played all 3 Lord of the Rings movies extended edition in a theater near me. So we went and watched all of the movies, and it was amazing. Like getting to rewatch Lord of the Rings, or actually getting to watch Lord of the Rings for the first time on the big screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never done that before.
Oh, you didn't see it in the theater?
No. When I was a kid growing up, I didn't learn about Lord of the Rings until like I think the 3rd movie was wrapping up its time in theaters. Or like maybe it was in theaters at the time, or it had just come out. But that was the first time I was exposed to Lord of the Rings, because I had a friend back in middle school at the time, and he was a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and he told me about it, and he was geeking out, and I didn't see the appeal in it until one day he told me, because what had happened is I had went up to Kentucky to go visit my family up there once, and they had, I think I've told this story before, but they had the Lord of the Rings on VHS back when that was a thing. And it was the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. So I put in this movie, The Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, and I started watching it. And I had no idea what the heck was going on. And I was like, why is everyone talking about this movie? It sucks. Like, nothing makes any sense. Like, there's this talking tree and like, what the heck's going on here? This like skinny little skeleton man, like, like what? Yeah. And then I was telling this to, his name was Alan, the Lord of the Rings kid that I was friends with in middle school. And I was telling him about this, and he was like, wait a second, you watched the second movie. You got to watch the first. So he invited me over to his house for a sleepover. And we sat in the living room, and we watched the first Lord of the Rings movie together. And it just blew my mind. Like, I was an instant fantasy fan. And there was, there's so many memories that I have of watching that movie, and like so many of the scenes that just really like moved me as I was watching this film. Then I watched The Two Towers. Then I watched Return of the King. I watched all the movies, I believe, with Alan. And I've rewatched The Lord of the Rings more times than I have no idea, but it's been a lot. So, yeah. And then as I got older, it was because of Lord of the Rings. Like, I watched the movies, then I read the books, then I read The Hobbit. And then, I was very interested in like, Tolkien, like, I love his writing style. So then I started reading Beowulf, for example, and I was a huge fan of Beowulf all throughout like high school. And when we read Beowulf in honors English, I already knew everything about Beowulf because I had read the poem for fun like twice. Then I got into like reading the Poetic Edda, and then I started reading a little bit of like learning a bit more about like Tolkien's like, traditional Catholic roots and stuff. So I was reading a little bit of Catholic philosophy, and I got exposed to Thomism and like blah, blah, blah. And so the big laundry list, like this whole chain of events. And then I started traveling to Europe and like, yada, yada. So Lord of the Rings changed my life.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It seems like it.
I'm going on a lot of rants tonight, but you know what? I'm passionate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we made it to Gadget Site.
We did. We made it.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
We are actually almost there. It's kind of crazy. When it's your favorite zone, Tanaris.
Yeah, my favorite sand. That's
And
it.
there's a pig with an orange.
Yeah. Yeah, I think next episode we'll walk into Ungoro Crater and probably reach the entrance to Silithus. And then the final episode will be us reaching the Encourage Gate. And that'll be it.
Yeah. So we only got a couple left. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, then we'll have to do the Eastern Kingdoms walk.
Yeah, that'll be crazy.
The Great Walk of the Eastern Kingdoms.
Speaking of the Eastern Kingdoms one, I think the last one we recorded was a while ago. I actually made my my level 1 classic hardcore video I kept talking about in the last couple episodes.
Yeah, we talked about it, I believe, in the hardcore video that we made.
Yeah. I talked about it in hardcore, but not in the running one. And
That's
so
true. The
I did it. I ran a level 1 classic WoW hardcore character across Azeroth.
You did?
And I made the video and it's up on YouTube and it's called I ran a level 1 classic hardcore character across Azeroth.
It was good. It was a fantastic video.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, I
Yes.
actually put effort into it. It was pretty crazy.
He did. It's the most high quality content that you've made in 10 years.
It really is. Pretty
Yes.
wild.
It's great.
There's oranges. There's actually a lot of oranges on this table, to be honest.
There is.
Yeah.
You know, real fast, during my stream earlier today, I asked the viewers, like, hey, what should we talk about? And people were saying Diablo 4. People were saying that we should talk about, like, Super Planet Dolan. But, you know, that's more my thing. Like, you've never been on Super Planet Dolan. But another person just said that they're like, oh, make sure in this video, this walk, that at some point you guys very briefly talk about crapping out in the woods.
Okay.
Yes. So consider this. We've now officially talked about it.
We have talked about it now.
Yes. I will just say one thing. I'm an expert.
I'll say I've done it once when I was a kid.
Yes. I've did it yesterday.
All right.
It's what I do.
Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, that's what people did for a long time.
Yeah. Just pop a squat.
Yeah.
I go camping a lot, for those that don't know. I camp a lot. I spend a lot of time out in the woods. So
That's
it's my home.
It'd be pretty cool if you put up some camping stuff on a certain IRL channel.
I intend to. Yeah, like my IRL channel, I don't just want it to be like me talking about Lord of the Rings and, you know, talking about like Gollum and whatever. Like I actually like I've been leather working lately, and I've been recording the whole process of me making this leather satchel. It's my first ever time leather working, so don't expect anything crazy. But I'm making this leather satchel that I can wear that is perfect for like holding my wallet and my cell phone and my keys. Because like the other satchels that you could get like at a Ren fair, they're not really designed for a cell phone and your wallet and keys. So you kind of have to like force them in there, or it's really awkward. So I'm just making something. And then me and my friend Zach, me and my friend Zach, we were talking just yesterday about my friend Michael does fight nights at his friend's house every Saturday night. This guy named Colby's house, but Colby just moved away. So for the past 2 weeks, there hasn't been a fight night where all the guys get together, box and wrestle, do Gleema, whatever. So my friend Zach, aka Balderton from the streams, the dude that ate the Carolina Reaper, he has been talking about having fight night at his house now. But we were talking about, like, just last night, we were talking about having, like, kind of themed fight nights. Like, there's a boxing night. There's a Gleema night. Gleema is, like, Icelandic wrestling. And then we were talking about having, like, a Viking night. And, like, I've made, like, round shields before in the past. And so I was like, oh, like, we should make a couple of round shields, like, and like vlog it, and then have like a Viking themed fight night, like show up dressed up and bring your own armor, pretty much, aka football armor and a baseball helmet, and then you know, fight with like a round shield, and like, you know, I've got a ton of like sparring weapons and stuff, and I'll probably vlog that whole thing and just watching people getting brutally hurt with like these like wood shields and hard plastic weapons. So yes.
Nice.
I will give you your content. Don't worry. I'll feed you.
Yes.
Yes. Damn, finally.
Yep.
And that's it. That's my last story for the night.
All right. Well, good walk. We're almost
Good
there.
talk.
Yeah, good talk, good walk. And
2 more episodes.
2 more episodes.
That's right. Big shout out to the members again. And do you have anything else you want to say or talk about before we wrap up?
Nah, I think that's about it.
All right. Well, then I will give you the final word.
See ya.